Hi, in modern econometrics, we want to get rid of the selection bias. The selection bias is our enemy, in inverted commas. So we want to get rid of this guy, which is that the unobservable behavior of the program group in case of non-participation is not similar, is not identical to the observable behavior of the control group in case of non-participation. So the problem is that it's not identical. If it were identical, we would have a plausible identification and we could measure the causal effect. However, if there is still some selection bias, we haven't got rid of the selection bias, so these two guys are not identical. So this behavior, unobservable, is not identical to the observable behavior of the control group. That's our problem. So we want to get rid of the selection bias by assumption. The only thing we can do is that we assume that these two kinds of behavior are the same. So in reality, we observe two kinds of selection, either positive or negative. Now let's take a further training program as a program we want to evaluate, we want to measure the causal effect for the further training program for employees. If randomization hasn't worked, so we would have, for example, a positive selection in the training program, because employers typically assign the best employees into the training program to promote them, right? And that would mean that if you measure the outcome, the mean outcome, then you would measure the outcome of the very best employees. So that would be associated with a positive selection effect. So you want to get rid of that by randomizing and by randomly assign people to the program group or to the control group to get rid of that kind of positive selection. However, negative selection can also occur. Just take another example. Take a program for long-term unemployed, and administrators want to show that the program doesn't work. So what could they do? They could assign the weakest long-term unemployed into the program, expecting that their mean outcome would be on a very, very low level, and then you would measure a negative selection effect. You underestimate the true causal effect, and the negative selection effect gives you the wrong picture. The only way to get rid of that negative selection effect is, once again, a randomized controlled trial. You should randomly assign the target group either to the program group or to the control group